So we're now in the fourth quarter of play, driving it into the paint. Shot is going to be missed and blocked by Leisha Steger of the Falcons. So it will be Caitlin Richards going up to the line for two shots here. 6:49 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. 65-37 is the score right now as the Falcons lead over the Hawks right now. Richards' first shot will be up and good. She'll have another. Caitlin Richards coming all the way from Dalton, Georgia. 6'1", center sophomore. Second free throw shot will be up and no good. 65-38 is your score. Falcons on top. Top of the key down to the left wing side as they look down to the paint. Cannot find any room. Shorter Hawks right now with a 2-3 zone as they get out. Rattles around the horn down to the corner. The three-point shot will be up and good by the Falcons. Marissa Snodgrass for three. So that now makes it 68-38. Falcons still on top over the Hawks. Down to the left wing corner. Back to the top of the key. Ball is going to go out of bounds. Whistle sounds. It's going back the other way with 6:16 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. Coming into the game now for the Falcons will be Sarah Stonemeyer as Stonemeyer inbounds it to Isabel Grimes. Grimes in the backcourt brings it in across the timeline. Grimes sets up the offense, moves it down to the right wing side. With it will be Alicia Steger. Steger drives it in on the left wing side now as they go down to the corner, back to the top of the key. Grimes looks. Blocked heavily now by Derica McCall. Looks to drive it into the paint. Cannot find any room. They're going to pass it around down to the paint. Looks for two out of bounds. Whistle sounds. Foul is going to be called. 5:56 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. 68-38 is still your score. Falcons still on top over the Hawks here. As the Falcons will retain possession here in the front court. Inbounding it from the baseline will be Isabel Grimes. Grimes outs it out high on the left wing side now with Marim Oldcare as Oldcare drives it into the paint. Shots me up and no good. Rebound is going to be taken away by the Hawks down to the front court into the paint. Layups up and good by the Hawks. Derica McCall. 5:42 left to go here in the fourth and final quarter of play as the Hawks now cutting the deficit. 68-40 now is your score. Down to the paint. 2-point shot will be good by Isabel Grimes of the Falcons as now Derica McCall takes it in from the backcourt across the timeline. Guarded heavily now by Isabel Grimes. 2-3 zone now for the Falcons as Derica McCall back from the left wing side. Still guarded heavily by Isabel Grimes. McCall slings it in down to the paint. Looks for two. Layups up and no good. Rebound and put back. Battled for. Hawks still keep possession and now quickly stolen away by the Falcons from the backcourt across the timeline. Down to the left wing side. Guarded heavily now by the Hawks. Tierra Lewis. 3-point shot from the top of the key. Off the glass. No good. Rebound control by the Hawks. Sierra Winowski. As Winowski gets it in from the backcourt. Whistle sounds. Foul is going to be, timeout call. As it looks like we're going to take that one as well. You're listening to the Shorter Hawks Sports Network. Three-point shot is going to be made by the Falcons. Sierra Stolmeyer, as Stolmeyer sinks it in for three to now make it 73-40. Falcons increasing their lead here over the Hawks here in the fourth and final quarter of play. 4:05 left to go here in the contest. With possession now will be Kyra Peterson. Down the lane, two-point shot off the rim, no good. Rebound control now by Sarah Stolmeyer. Brings it in from the backcourt across the timeline. With it will be Anna Catherine Eastman. From the left wing side back to the top of the key now with it will be McCarley Northway. Northway three-point shot. Nothing but net from who? Sarah Stolmeyer. As that will now make it 76-40 as the Falcons continue to increase the deficit now for the Hawks. Top of the key with it will be Derica McCall. Slings it in on the right wing side now with Kyra Peterson. Pass goes out of bounds. Whistle sounds. Hawks will keep possession here in the front court. Timeout called. And we're going to take that one as well. 3:29 left to go here in the fourth and final quarter of play. You were listening to the Shorter Hawks Sports Network. Back here live on the Shorter Hawk Sports Network as right now, coming out of the timeout, 3:29 left to go here in the fourth and final quarter of play. 76-40 is your score. Falcons still on top over the Hawks here. Hawks battling it out hard here. Really came out hard in the first half of play, and right now still giving 110% here in the second quarter of play. So the Falcons will have possession now. Inbounding it from the baseline will be McCarley Northway as Northway outlets it out high to Isabel Grimes. Grimes across the timeline down to the right wing side. With it will be Chloe Johnson as Johnson brings it back to the right wing side, back to the top of the key, now to the left wing side. Drives it in, skip pass around the horn, back to the paint. With it will be Savannah Cook, goes up for two, off the rim, no good. Rebound pulled away by the Hawks as the Hawks will take back possession now. With it will be Erica McCall across the timeline. Guarded heavily now by Isabel Grimes. 2-3 zone now from the Falcons from the left wing side with a handoff from Jordan Kierbro as Kierbro drives it into the paint. Cannot find any room. Jump ball is called. 2:53 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. Falcons will take back possession. Inbounding it from the baseline will be McCarley Northway as Northway inbounds it to Isabel Grimes. Grimes in the backcourt, organize the offense across the timeline. Top of the key now, guarded heavily by Derica McCall. Slings it into the left wing side. Back to the top of the key now with Sarah Stolmeyer. Stolmeyer drives it in, cannot find any room. Double team now with Derica McCall and Amaya Peterson. Top of the key, down to the paint. Layup's going to be up and no good, and it's going to be blocked. Whistle sounds. Foul is going to be called. Foul's going to go on the Hawks. Caitlin Richards with 2:32 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. And it looks like it will be Savannah Cook sent to the line for two free throw shots. First shot's going to be up and no good. She'll have another. Second free throw shot will be up and no good by Savannah Cook. As Savannah Cook coming all the way from Cookland, New Zealand. From all the way in New Zealand comes Savannah Cook for the Falcons. Layup and lanes get up and no good. Foul is going to be called on, Savannah Cook. They're going to call the foul on Savannah Cook. So it will be Tiara Lewis sent to the line for two free throw shots. 2:17 left to go here in the fourth and final quarter of play. 76-40 is still your score. Falcons on top over the Shorter Hawks right now. So the referee's cleaning up the court, making sure everything's good at the baseline. At the free throw line. So with 2:17 left to go here in the fourth and final quarter of play. Head coach Lanisha Brooks talking over with assistant coach Marcus Hunt Jr. getting the game plan together for the last few minutes of play here. First free throw shot will be up and no good. She'll have another. It's Tiara Lewis coming all the way from Marietta, Georgia at Osborne High School. 6'1" center sophomore. Second free throw shot will be up and off the rim, no good. Rebound controlled by the Hawks. Looks like a foul is going to be called on the Falcons again, and it will be. Jordan Kirbrough going to the line for 2 shots here. First shot's going to be up and good. She'll have another one. Jordan Kirbrough coming all the way from Carrollton, Georgia, 5'7" freshman guard. As the second free throw shot will be good as well to now make it 76-42. Falcons still on top over the Hawks here, as bringing it across the timeline will be Isabel Grimes down to the paint, top of the key with it as the Falcons pass it around the horn from the left wing side, back to the top of the key. 2-3 zone now from the Hawks as the Falcons down to the right wing corner, back to the right wing side, over on the left wing side. Double team now from Derricka McCall as well as Shayna Cruz coming into the game with her first appearance of the fourth quarter. The Falcons trying to get it down inside the paint, cannot find any room. Hawks making it very, very difficult down low. Shot is going to be up and no good as the shot clock buzzes. Hawks will take back possession here as it will be Jordan Kirbrough inbounding it from the baseline, gets it out to Derricka McCall. McCall from the backcourt brings it in across the timeline to the front court, guarded heavily now by Isabel Grimes. 2-3 zone now from the Falcons as Derricka McCall brings it into the paint to Kirbrough. Left up and no good. Rebound and putback is going to be, rebound will be with the Falcons. Whistle sounds. And possession is going to be kept here in the front court with the Hawks. Inbounding it from the baseline will be Jordan Tanksley. It's Jordan Tanksley coming all the way from Evans, Georgia. 5'8" freshman guard. So the Falcons now back with possession. Bringing it across the time will be Isabel Grimes at the top of the key, guarded heavily by Derricka McCall. 2-3 zone now from the Hawks as they drive it into the paint. Jordan Parker underneath the arch drives it inside. Layup's going up and good by the Falcons. Katie Moore. As that now makes it 78-42. Falcons still on top over the Hawks. Here's Derricka McCall. Hands it off to who? That's going to be Shayna Cruz. As Cruz drives it into the paint. Hands it back off to Derricka McCall into the lane. 2-point shot. Good by Derricka McCall now to make it 78-44. 48.2 seconds left to go here in the fourth and final quarter of play. Falcons right now just looking to take off time off the clock here. Shorter Hawks trying to get as many last-minute buckets as possible here. Derricka McCall organized the defense for the Hawks. 2-3 zone now. From the left wing side, back to the top of the key with it will be Chloe Johnson. Brings it in on the right wing side, now down to the paint. 3-point shot is going to be up and off the rim, no good by Sarah Stollmeyer, as now the Hawks battling for possession. Get the ball loose from the ground. Derricka McCall brings it in to the front court across the timeline. Top of the key now as he drives it underneath the arc. Hands it off to who? That's going to be with Jordan Kirbrough. Layups it up and off the glass, no good. Foul is going to be called on the Falcons, Chloe Johnson. And it will be Jordan Kirbrough at the line for 2 shots here. First shot is going to be up and good. She'll have another to make it 78-45. Jordan Kirbrough playing in 6 games so far here for the Hawks. As now the Falcons take back possession. 14 seconds left to go. Here's they get it into the front court. With it will be Isabel Grimes, guarded heavily now by Derricka McCall. 2-3 zone now from the Hawks. Clock is going to tick down to 5 seconds now, and it looks like that is going to be it, folks. Your final score, 78-46. As your Shorter Hawks will unfortunately fall to the Montevallo Falcons. 78-46 final score once again here. I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you're hanging with us, we got men's squad action coming up following the conclusion of this broadcast. And, of course, if you're leaving us, hope you have a great evening. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for letting us be a part of your evening here tonight on the Shorter Hawk Sports Network. I want to thank you all for tuning in. For Kylie League Sports Information Director, Athletic Director Richard Hendricks, I myself, Will Davis, along with graduate assistants Ava and Justice, and, of course, head coach Lanisha Brooks and assistant coach Marcus Hunt Jr. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a good night.